and welcome to All Things Career Services with TNT. I'm Dr. Tracy Spots.
And I'm Tatyana.
And listen, y'all, we got a good one for you today. We've got my good friend Angie from Counseling at BCTC here with us on the hot mic. Angie, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been doing this and whatnot?
Yes, thank you. So I've been in the field of counseling or counseling related field for quite a while. Worked with a lot of folks in recovery. That was primarily what I did before I came here. So about close to 20 years of that work, and then retired from the federal prison, came here 2 years ago, and I love it here at BCTC. It's just really awesome, and the work environment's fantastic. So it fills my cup too.
You retired from the prison?
I did, yes.
I bet you have some stories, huh?
All kinds of crazy stories.
Well, unfortunately, we don't have time to delve into those stories, but what we do have time to get into is a little story about self-care. So, we hear it. It's very popular these days. Everybody's talking about self-care, take care of yourself, mental health for the win. So, Angie, if you don't mind, we're just going to ask you a few questions, and we'll get started. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right. How do you personally define self-care, and has that definition evolved over time?
So I believe self-care is just, making sure that you're taken care of. I say a lot of times just making sure that your cup is getting filled, just promoting mental health, promoting physical health, and a really nice balance. So intentional actions to improve your physical, emotional well-being, spiritual, whatever that looks like for you. And I think that it's absolutely necessary these days with everything that we all have going on. It's just really important.
Awesome. So what are some common misconceptions people have about self-care?
So a lot of times people feel like someone who's engaging in self-care is being selfish, that self-care is optional, we don't really need it, or they're afraid that they don't have the money to take care of themselves. But self-care doesn't have to be something expensive, and it really is necessary to be a priority in people's lives, just because if we're not able to take care of ourselves and get into a good place mentally and physically, then we're not able to help others or even be positive in the community.
So one of my favorite shows is called Parks and Recreation. Have you ever seen it?
I have not.
Oh my gosh. It is. Tatyana, have you seen it?
I've heard of it.
Okay. So there's this character in there. There's two characters in there. And they have these days called Treat Yourself. And they're days where they go out and they splurge on themselves. They might buy themselves a designer handbag or get their nails done or go to an expensive restaurant. So are you telling me right now that you're giving me permission to have some treat yourself days?
Absolutely. It's necessary. If we don't do stuff that we enjoy, then we're going to just get into a negative mindset. And a negative mindset just breeds negativity and unhealthy habits.
Perfect. Well, I definitely indulge in treat yourself days quite often.
Yes, me too.
So, for the people that may not be able to do that, in your experience, what are the biggest barriers faced when trying to implement self-care?
Well, I think a lot of times people feel like they have to spend a lot of money and they feel like they don't have the finances to do that. They feel guilty, like they don't want to do something nice for themselves if they didn't do something nice for their significant other or for their kids. Sometimes they feel like they've got too much to do, too much on their plate. They're just too busy and they don't take time for themselves.
Can you share a personal story where self-care has made a significant impact on your own mental health or well-being?
Yes. So I started seeing a chiropractor a few years back, and she suggested that I start massage therapy. And I'd done massage therapy before, but literally just gone and got a massage when I wanted to. But since I've been doing that actual, like every couple weeks, about every 4 to 6 weeks, getting massage therapy, I feel so much better. My stress level is less. I have less aches and pains in my body. Even just recently, my son went for a massage because I believe in it that much and think that it has that much power just to make you feel better. I feel so much more relaxed and I sleep so much better.
That's really good. What role does self-care play in preventing burnout, especially for helping students? Because some students have multiple jobs, they have families, they could get burnt out easily.
Absolutely. So I think that self-care just helps us reduce stress. when we realize that we are important and that it is necessary for us to take care of ourselves, then we're a better parent, we're a better employee, we're a better friend, relative, whatever that might look like. And we have to do something that we really enjoy, make it personal for us, for what we do for that self care.
So let's talk about long-term situations. So what long-term self-care habits should students incorporate now to benefit them in the future?
So I think just working to stay balanced increases their motivation and their energy. If they incorporate, self care habits into their life now, then it becomes easier. The more that we do something, the easier it becomes. So it's really easy to say, I've got too much to do, I've got to study, I've got to do this, and that. But we also really need to take time for ourselves. I tell students that come in and talk to me, even if you take 15 minutes for yourself, you need to take a little bit of time for yourself to just make sure that you're not getting overwhelmed or burnt out.
There's that word again, burnout. How can students balance self-care with their academic and work responsibilities without feeling guilty?
So I believe if students don't take care of themselves, then they really are going to burn out and they're going to feel like they just have too much going on. When we do incorporate that self care into our lives, we find that we are better prepared to deal with things. So class doesn't feel as overwhelming. I'm not feeling as stressed as I did before. And when we get a really good balance of, our physical health, our mental health, even our academic health, it's really easy to procrastinate when we don't feel well, right? Like I'd rather sit on the couch than, do something for myself. And self care at times can be just taking that time to sit on the couch, but also realizing that, going for a walk, listening to music, doing something like that is a really nice way to reset your body. And it helps us with our study habits as well.
So something that a concept that has been pushed a lot recently is the idea of work-life balance. So how do you see the concept of work-life balance evolving for students in the years to come, especially with a change in remote work and online education?
So I know I love remote work. I think it's awesome. But I also think that if it was something that I was doing every day, I don't know if I would be as productive because it's really nice to have that opportunity to, work from home, get things done, not have the interruptions. That's really the biggest thing that comes about here at school is just the constant interruptions and you're right in the middle of something and then it's really difficult to reset. But I also feel like if we're remote and online, we're less social, we get less support, and we can easily isolate. And when we isolate, we tend to be pretty destructive. So I can see the evolving of the online classes and all that stuff becoming a problem. Think about what COVID did to, our students in general, right? Like that whole social isolation, we definitely see the effects of it now. So I think a really good balance is important.
Gotcha.
So, what tools or resources do you often suggest to support self care?
So I love, like, I keep coloring books in my office. Miss Anita, our supervisor, she has provided us with little coloring books that come in a package with pencils. That's a fantastic way to, just get lost in coloring a picture. I love the Calm app. It's just got some really wonderful tools on it. We also talk about Headspace on our website. So finding something that you can relate to. My son, for example, has ADHD, and one thing he likes to do is he has an app that helps him remember to do things. And so he'll set that app, and then he'll get a little reminder, and that helps him take care of himself as well. Like even to the point of like go play basketball for 20 minutes or whatever. So it just allows us the opportunity to, if we forget or if we get caught up in things or we find ourselves overwhelmed, it's nice to have a little reminder.
Yeah. So, for those who are just now starting in their self care journey, what's one simple step that you would suggest that they begin with?
I would say just figure out one thing that you really enjoy, something that's really important to you, that you find when you engage in that activity, that you're able to feel fulfilled and that you feel like you're able to reset and come back to the task that's at hand. Sometimes people say, I've got to recharge my battery. And so I think that if we don't do that, then, it's just like anything. It's gonna wear out. It's gonna tire down. So we have to find a way to make this become a routine. So the more that we engage in it, the more likely it is to become a routine. Back to what I said earlier about me with massages, I went here and there, but I really was like, it's not really that, I love it while I'm there, but it's not really that great. But now that I do it on a regular basis, I see the pure benefits of it. And that really is my best self-care tool.
Do you think, this is kind of a random question.
Yeah.
So I don't like massages. I think they hurt.
Yes.
Do you think I could go in there and be like, lightly tickle me for an hour?
You can, I think. I do deep tissue massage, and I hated it at first. I'm not gonna lie, because I walked out of there hurting and was sore for like 3 days. But then, once I start getting those knots worked out of my body, because you don't realize how much stress you carry, then I felt a lot better. But I do know that I've referred some folks to my massage therapist, and they're like, "Oh, she's really rough." It's like, just tell her you don't want it that rough. And like when she did my son's massage, she was very gentle. So you can ask just for a relaxation massage.
Oh, okay. I might have to try that, because I know I got a lot of tension in my body, but I don't know. I just the thought of somebody cracking my, like a chiropractor. No, thank you.
Yes.
No. I went to a chiropractor once in Colorado, and I have a degenerative bone disease, right? And they cracked my back. I jumped right off the table and walked right out. I was like, we're not finishing this. Absolutely. So I definitely, my treat yourself days are usually going and buying a new pair of Jordans. So not going to get a massage, but I will definitely take that under advisement and maybe give it a try. So that concludes our questions. Do you have any last tidbits or advice, or Angie wants you to knows before we say goodbye to you?
Sure. I would just say, BCTC offers free counseling. It's a wonderful opportunity. If you come over here and decide you don't want to talk to us, just come to us and we'll give you a resource in the community. If you don't know what the best tool for you is self-care wise, come and talk to me. I can offer some suggestions. If you're trying to manage anxiety, stress, depression, whatever you have going on, you're not alone. You're never alone. Come and talk to us. If you're not aware, the suicide hotline is 988. They are fantastic. They will talk to you. Call them at 2:00 in the morning and they will talk to you. If you don't want to call, text. They will text with you. So you're never alone, and do your best to take care of yourself. You really will be happy that you did so.
And how many free sessions do students get a year?
8.
8
free sessions.
So, and that's for anything, right?
Anything.
Time management, self-care.
Yes, we do a lot of time management and a lot of prioritizing here. Students just aren't really sure how to, what's the most important. And a lot of times assignments are due at 11:59 on Sunday night. So they know I've got these 5 things. So what's more important? And we just put together a plan of maybe start on Tuesday instead of Sunday at 3:00. So just kind of
smart. Smart. Well, awesome. So that concludes our edition on self-care with our good friend Angie. We will be back next month with a whole new session. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I am looking forward to bringing you all on board next month. And then we will get started with next semester with a whole new session of podcasts. So, Tatyana, anything you want to say before we conclude the day?
No, just thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you, guys. And that concludes All Things Career Services with TNT.